Hello everybody, my name is Mohsen. I'm a PhD student in Mechanical Engineering Department at NYCU. Today I'm going to talk about the IELTS exam. As you see in the first slide, this is my IELTS report form related to 2021, and as you see in that IELTS test report form, you have your names, your family, the candidate number, date of birth, and date of exam, and your scores related to each skill. This is my last IELTS exam, which is related to year 2021, and my overall band score was 7.5. I also took an exam in 2019, and the IELTS overall band score for that exam was 7. I put my email. If you have any question regarding to this presentation, you can send me an email and we can discuss about your questions. Okay, in this session, I'm going to give a brief description and brief introduction about the IELTS exam and the format of the exam. And after that, I'm going to talk about different IELTS skills such as listening, reading, writing, and speaking in 4 different sessions. It's very important to know about the exam you're going to take. So I'm going to talk about the IELTS exam organizers, IELTS exam validity, IELTS exam different modules, and IELTS scoring system, and finally I'm going to talk about the format of the test. The IELTS exam organizers are IDP and British Council, and the questions designed by Cambridge University. So in fact there is no difference between the IDP and British Council, as they are just organizers of the exam, not the designers of the questions. The validity of the IELTS exam is just 2 years, no more than that. The different types of IELTS exam modules includes academic, IELTS life skill, and general training module. The academic module is designed for the ones who want to pursue the higher education in a foreign country, and the IELTS life skill is just for UK visa and is out of our scope in these sessions. And the general training related to the people who wants to migrate or have some job opportunities in a foreign country. The IELTS exam scoring system consists of band score, and the band score is from 0 to 9. The highest band score is 9, as you see, and the skill level is expert users. If you got 8, it's very good user. If you got 7, you're a good user. And you see, according to the skill level of your English, the IELTS exam band score will be different. IELTS exam consists of 4 different skills, including listening, reading, writing, and speaking. In the next slide, I'm going to talk about these skills in different IELTS modules. As you see, the IELTS test sections are, if I put the, according to different skills you appeared in the exam, the first one is listening. It contains 40 questions in 44 sections, and each section contains 10 questions. And the duration of the listening part is just about maybe 30 minutes. You listen to an audio and you answer the questions, and after that you will be given 10 extra minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. After that, you have reading part, and reading part, as I told you in the previous slide, is it has difference between there is a difference between IELTS Academic and IELTS General. In academic module, the reading part contains 3 paragraphs, which are 3 articles, academic articles, and the questions are also 40 questions from those 3 passages. But in general training, it also has 3 sections, but the first 2 reading passages are about the daily life situations and not academic articles. But the last passage is just an academic articles as the academic part. And you have only 60 minutes in reading part, and you should answer the questions and also transferring them to the answer sheet on that 60 minutes. After that, you have writing, and there is also a difference between writing in IELTS Academic and IELTS General. The academic module has 2 tasks. Task 1 or report writing, and the task 2 or essay writing. The first one, both tasks have 60 minutes, and you should fulfill the task during 60 minutes and no more than that. But in general training, the first task or task 1 is just related to letter writing, not report writing, and the second task is related to essay writing, as the same as academic module. And you also have speaking, which is a live and face-to-face interview with an examiner, and it will last around 50 minutes at most, and it may happen before the exam or after the exam according to the organizer's scheduling. In this section, I'm going to talk about the listening skill in IELTS exam. I'm going to talk about the different sections in listening. I'm going to talk about the duration of these sections, band scoring and scoring system for IELTS listening. And finally, I'm going to talk about different questions you face within listening part of the exam. In listening part of the IELTS exam, we will face 4 different sections. The first section is a dialogue about a daily situation. The second section is a monologue, again about a social situation. For example, tour guide describe a different part of a museum for tourists. The third section is about a conversation between 3 or more people on an academic topic. For example, students discuss with the professor about a report or something like that. And the fourth section and the last section is a lecture given by a lecturer about an academic topic. As you see, the difficulty of these 4 sections are something like this. The first section is the easiest section, and the last 3 sections are almost the same, but one of them is more difficult than the others. So it's very important to know the structure of the listening sections and the type of the audio you listen to. Total duration of the listening part is around 40 minutes, and you have 40 questions, and also which is given to you in 4 different sections, as I told you before. and the time for answering and listening to audio is around 30 minutes, and you will be given 10 minutes, 10 extra minutes at the end of the listening part to transfer your answer to an answer sheet, and I put the answer sheet format for you on this slide. And this is the chart that's showing the approximate band scoring of the listening part. For example, if you answer 39 or 40 correct questions from 40 total questions, you will be given band score 9. If you answer 37 and 38 questions, you will be given 8.5. And it's very important, the lower limit for band score 8 is 35, band score 7.5 is 32 or 33, and band score 7 is 30 or 29 even. It depends on the difficulty of the exam, and as you know, the Cambridge, they have a system of normalization, so the difficulty of the exam will be normalized, and these scores are also given by a normalized way. You can also find these band score at the end of Cambridge book, and I'm going to talk about the good material for preparing for the exam at the end of the session. Now I'm going to give you some tips about different types of questions you face during listening part. The first one, and one of the most important types of questions in IELTS listening, is sentence completion. And as you see, the most important things in this question is to read the instruction first. You see, this is this box. I put it here. It shows the instruction of the questions. Write one word and or a number for each answer. It means that if you write a word, it's correct. If you write a number, it's again correct. And if you combine a word and a number, it's correct. But if you use two words and a number, it's not correct. You should be careful with these instructions, and I will tell you how to do that at the end of this part. This type of questions usually seen in section 1 and section 4. Most of the time you will see this type of questions in first and last section of the listening part. And for example, during the IELTS listening, you will be given 30 seconds or 20 to 30 seconds time to read ahead. It means that, for example, you will be hear that in the audio that the examiner says that you have 30 seconds to look at questions 1 to 4. As you see here, name of agent is, for example, for question 1, name of agent is Becky, is a blank place here. You should be careful with the complicated names. It will be spelled for you, but something like Brown, you will hear that in audio. For example, one of the speakers said that, yeah, my name is Becky Brown. Brown as a color. It means that you should know how to write brown. And the format of the answers in IELTS listening is easy words, not complicated words. So it's a better choice to choose the easiest word you know, and you know how to write it down. And again, you should also guess the type of questions in sentence completion. For example, here for question number 2, best to call her in the blank place again. You should think about it. in the afternoon, in the morning. For example, it's somehow a guessing play. You should guess the format of the answer. As you see here, we have in, so it means that certain duration of a day, or it doesn't mean that you should think about a day of week, for example, because best to call her on Sundays, on Mondays. So in that it showed that it's a duration, not a certain date. It's how you can guess the answer type. Another type of questions in listening part of the IELTS is multiple choice questions. First of all, read the instruction first, and then for the different multiple choice questions we have two conditions. One is short answer questions and one is long answer questions. For the short answer questions, for example, question 12 here, where can customers meet the tour manager before traveling to the Isle of Man? Before is a linker that show you that you should be careful with this word during the listening part, and you should be careful with this linker that separate the correct answer from the wrong answers, and you will be hear all of these names during the listening, but one of them is put aside with a specific linker. And for the long answer questions, one of the techniques for long answer questions is shadowing. What is the shadowing? It helps you to improve listening and reading skills during the exam. It helps you to do these two skills simultaneously. And for example, when you listen to the listening, you won't have enough time to read the whole answers before listening. So it's very important to be able to listen to the listening and reading the text with your eyes simultaneously. Shadowing technique is a good way to deal with these kind of questions. But for this type of questions, 3 out of 5 is a very good performance. So try to hear the right answers. Again, if you didn't hear it, so do it by reasoning. And if you can't find any good reason for a correct answer, you can choose it by chance. There is no negative point in IELTS exams, so don't leave a blank answer for any of questions. The other type of questions are tables. Again, read the instruction first. Here, write one word only for each answer, no more than one word. Even numbers is not the correct answer. If you hear and if you think that the answer is a number, you should write it like a word. For example, 10, not 10 in number, 10 in letters. And for the table, you should be careful with the column and rows titles. For example, here date, type of event, and details are column titles, and 70th, 80th, 90th to 20th, and 20th evening are the rows titles. They are keywords that help you not to miss the answers during the listening. And again, another important thing is to choose the correct keywords and signposts. What is the signpost? For example, before number 1, we will hear ballot. Ballot is a signpost for us. If you hear this, if you heard this word during the IELTS listening, So it means the ballot. Definitely after ballot you will be here the first answer, so it helps you not to miss the answer one, the question one. Again, a play, if you see the play or a comedy, there are also signposts that show you that yeah, it's close to question number 2. And if you hear the evening here, if you heard the evening, it means that number 3 and number 4 are close to answer. These are the signposts, and the keywords are, for example, here for question 3, show is a keyword. For example, a comedy show. You see, it's a it's somehow a type of answer. Format of the answer is something like this, or drama show. You see, you can guess type of the answer. So be careful with the signpost and choosing signpost and correct keywords for your answers. The other type of questions are matching questions. And again, for the listening, read the instruction first, sorting the answer. For example, here you can find the different types of topics you have. You can, for example, poverty or misery or disease, they can be classified in the same group. Again, happiness, for example, comedy, they can be put in another group. It's a way to deal with these kind of questions. And the order of the answers, you will also face some questions that ask you to choose 2 answers from a bunch of different answers, and choose only 2 correct answers out of these 5 answers. And the order of these, the correct answer is not important. For example, here from questions from answer A, B, C, D, E are the options we have. And for example, answer B and answer D are the correct answers. If you put B and D in your answer sheet, or if you put D or B in your answer sheet, both of the conditions are correct. Map questions are one of the questions type you will face during the IELTS listening part. And as you see in the map, you have one important point. For example, here Liverpool is one of the location we have. River on the north side. You should be careful with the signs and direction of the map, because during the listening it said that yeah, Minister Park, on the north of the Minister Park there is a river, and for example on the center of that river, on the bottom center of that river, there is a library, and this is the answer for the library, this location. And you have also West Gate, East Gate, South Gate, and the north is also a river. So it's very important to have to be careful with these different locations and directions, because during the listening you will hear these names, and you should find these locations very quickly on the map. And again, usually during the IELTS map questions, one of these points is considered as a reference point. For example, Southgate will be the reference point for this map, and after giving the direction for questions 15 for questions 17 or 18, again we go back to Southgate. If we start from Southgate for the first question, usually we will continue the other location from this reference point again, not to get confused with the math. Okay, now we are going to talk about the reading part of the IELTS exam. We are going to talk about different passages in reading duration, band scoring, and also reading question tips. As I told you before, the reading for academic modules and general training module are a little bit different. For example, academic module, the passage 1 and passage 2 are articles and for university level persons, but in general training there are 2 short texts about the daily sources like handbooks, manuals for example a microwave or something like that. And the passage 3 in both academic and general training modules are the same, and it's an academic passage. The reading duration is 1 hour, and during this 1 hour you have to answer 40 questions. And in contrast with listening part of the IELTS exam, there won't be any extra time for transferring the answer from your question booklet to your answer sheet. So it's very important to manage the time, and the answers also should be transferred during that 1 hour. And this is the approximated scores for academic and general reading. You see, as I told you before, there are 2 easy texts for the passage 1 and 2 for general training. However, the score achievement is a little bit harder because you have to answer more correct answer in comparison to academic reading to achieve higher grades. For example, minimum level for band score 9 in academic is 39, but for 9 in general training you should answer all the questions correctly. And for example, for band 5 7.5, the minimum level of score correct answer is 33, but in general training it's around 35 or 36. So it's very important for you to know that there are some sort of normalization for the test. Now we are going to talk about different types of questions in reading part. One of the type of questions is heading questions. Again, I will repeat it several times that you should read the instruction first in any questions, because if you didn't, if you do not read the instruction first, it will cost you a lot. And these kind of questions always come before the passage, and the way to handle these questions is to skim the answers in this blue box first and put lines under the keywords you find. And please be cautious that the title of the reading is not a good keyword for your keyword selection. And then after reading these blue box and different answers you have, list of the topic sentences, you should go and read the passage paragraph 1 and find the topic sentence for each paragraph. If I were you, I choose the first and the last sentence of each paragraph, and if it has 2 sections, the first sentence of each section. For example, a paragraph consisted of 2 sections. The first sentence of each section is a good choice to consider as a topic sentence. For the short paragraph, which consists of 3 to 4 short sentences, it's better to read all of it and choose the topic sentence according to those 4 sentences. For example, after reading the paragraph and choosing the topic sentence, you came again to this blue box and choose 1 or 2 or 3 choices according to keywords you selected from the topic sentence. And after that, for example, you get into you reach to 2 options for your answers. After reaching to those 2 answers, you should go in depth of that paragraph and choose which one repeated which one focus on that specific answer more than the other, and that would be the answer. Global multiple choice questions usually come at the end of the passage. For example, question 13, question 26 or 27, and question 40 could be one of these questions, global multiple choice questions. And it's looking for the main topic of the passage or main idea of the passage. So you should be careful that drop the choices that have a general or irrelevant title, and if the one of the answers just give a hint to a specific part of the passage, it won't be the correct answer. So finally, choose the choice that covers several paragraphs, to choose all the paragraphs, not several of them, and it's the way to find the correct answer. True, false, not given are the other types of questions in reading part of the IELTS exam. As you see, you should first of all read the questions and divide it into its components, and find some suitable keywords to find the location of answers according to topic sentence of each paragraph you have done before. And now first you should go to check for not given. If any components of the statement and the answer, the question is not in the paragraph, the answer should be not given. But if all of the components are in the text, we're looking for contradiction. If there is one, false is the answer. If there is no contradiction with the statement and the answer in the text, the answer would be true. Another type of questions are short answer questions, and they're simply a WH questions, and the main point, the main key to be successful with this kind of questions is to understand that each of these WH questions seeking what. For example, when 6 times, and where 6 locations, who's 6 sick person, how adjective and adverbs, for example, how far, how fast, how long. One of them looking for a specific answer, and the key to be successful with this kind of questions is to understand what they look for. Multiple choice questions are the other type of questions you face within reading part of the IELTS exam. And the way to deal and face with these kind of questions is to find the keywords in the statement and according to the topic sentences before reaching to these questions, you find in the for the paragraph of the text, you should find the location of the answer, and comparing the answers with that specific paragraph contents, and see if the answers are correct or not. Table completion questions are another type of questions we will face during the IELTS exam. And as I told you before, for listening part, it's very important to read the headers of the columns and the title of the rows to find a suitable keywords, and according to the specific location of that cell, that blank cell, you can find the location of the answer according to the topic sentence you choose you find in the text. For example, follow safe work code of practice. Here, necessary action for confined spaces. Here, and for example, these two sides of question 16 are important, and you can find the, for example, follow safe word code. Safe word code is a good keyword to find the location of the answer for number 16. That's the way you should answer and find the question, the correct answer in table completion questions. There are different types of matching questions in IELTS exam: table matching, sentence ending, statement matching, and description matching. For example, here there are 4 different names, and you will be given 5 answers as their related ideas of each person. So according to the location of the topic sentences and these names, because these names start with capital letters, they can be found in the text very easily. First, you should read the questions and not the answers, and after that, according to that names, you can find the answers and location of the answers in the text. There are other types of questions which are rare but still possible in the reading part of the IELTS exam, which are diagram labeling questions. As you see, for example, here, the answer to these diagram is located in 1 or 2 following paragraphs in the text, and keywords can be chosen from the titles and description of the diagram. For example, here, dung beetles, and beetles, for example, Spanish, South African. You see, these are different types of beetles, and the depths they can dig the hole under the ground, I guess. So according to that specific topic sentence you choose, for example, for different types of species of beetles, you can find the answer to these questions. Yes, no, not given questions are the questions that are completely different from true, false, not given. And here, the statement should be evaluated according to the text information or your own conclusion of the passage. But for the yes, no, not true, false, not given, we just concentrate on the completely the same answers. And in this type of question, you should first read the questions and sentence the statement and divide it to its parts, and then find a suitable keyword from the question and find the location of the answer. And first, in this type of question, first we check for the yes. If the statement aligned with the passage, we said yes, it's correct. If then we check for no, if the statement is not is not in agreement with the text, no is the correct answer. And when the text contains no information about that specific statement, we call it the not given would be the answer. Now we are going to talk about the writing part of the IELTS exam. We are going to talk about the different tasks in writing. We are going to talk about duration of the writing and a scoring system. And finally, we discuss about the writing tips. As I told you in introduction part of this lesson, there is a little difference between the academic and general training modules of IELTS writing. In academic module, the task 1 of the writing is report writing, and in general training, the task 1 is related to letter writing. And in both module, the second task is just essay writing, and there is no difference between the essay writing of general training and academic module of the IELTS exam. The duration of writing part is 60 minutes, and it's better to spend around 20 minutes on task 1 and 40 minutes on task 2, as you have to write at least 150 words for task 1 and 250 words for task 2. It should be mentioned that 1/3 of the total grade related to task 1 and 2/3 related to task 2. So it's a better choice to start with the task 2 to be on the safe side and not to lose 2/3 of the exam points. In IELTS writing, we have something for examiners to evaluate our writing based on. This is called band descriptor, writing band descriptor, and it has 4 different criteria. According to them, your writing is evaluated. The first one is task achievement. It means that how you fulfill the task, the question of the writing asked you. The second one is cohesion and coherence. It means how you do paragraphing or how you put the contents one by one so that you keep the cohesion and coherence of your text. And the other one is lexical resources, and it means that how you are good in using related collocation and suitable collocation for the specific topic. For example, for work, you can say workforce, labor, and for example, full-time, part-time. These are the kinds of vocabulary you should use for that topic. And for example, the other criterion is lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, GRA. If you see the answer sheet for the IELTS exam writing, I put it in the previous slide. There are 4 different boxes for each of these criteria. It's TA for task achievement, CC for cohesion and coherence, LR for lexical resources, and grammatical range and accuracy, or GRA. And according to that, examiners evaluate your writing. Okay, as we are all students, I'm going to talk about the report writing. Just focus on academic writing task 1. And this task included graphs, line graphs, bar graphs, bar charts, pie chart, tables, cycles, process, and maps. And as I told you before, these are the criteria your writing evaluated based on: TA or task achievements, CC or cohesion coherence, LR or lexical resources, GRA or grammatical range and accuracy. And if you write underlined, means lower than 150 words. If you copy the 3 words after each another from the question, they won't be calculated in the counting of that 150 words. So you should be careful. And the final grade of your task 1 is the average of these 4 criteria, and according to them your task 1 will be evaluated. Line graph. Line graph is one of the very popular charts in the IELTS writing. According to my experience, it's a good idea to read the instruction first, and then you can provide an introduction paragraph plus overview. And what is the introduction paragraph? For example, the charts below show the changes in the ownership of electrical appliances, and the amount of time spent doing houseworks in households in one country between 1920 to 2010, I guess. If you want to do to write an introduction paragraph, you can simply paraphrase the questions in other words. And for overview, for example, you should look for the overall trend of these line graphs. If you see on the first chart, all three line graphs increase from the beginning of period to the end of period. So it's a good idea to say that, yeah, it's increasing. And for the second line graph, the trend is decreasing. So it's better to say that, yeah, the trend, for example, the household electrical usage is decreasing. Excuse me, because the picture is too short, too small for me. It's hard for me to read the titles. And then you should, for example, for these typical question, it's a good idea to write a paragraph for the first one and to write a paragraph for the second chart, and finally a conclusion paragraph. As I told you, for example, for the overview, you can set that, yeah, it's for the first chart, it's the trend is increasing, and for conclusion paragraph, it's better to set that, yeah, the line graph is decreasing in the second chart. However, you can also forget about the conclusion. If you look at the, I guess, IELTS, Cambridge IELTS 9, you will see a sample for band score 9 with no conclusion paragraph. But to be safe, it should better to write a conclusion. You shouldn't write every details and every break in these paragraphs. You should summarize them. If you see the boxes for the question, summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant. It means that you should use, for example, you should talk about mainly about the trend. However, you can use some comparison between these paragraphs too. This is how you get your task achievement as much as possible. To summarize and selecting and reporting the main features, not to summarize all of the details in the paragraph. And it's very important to be careful with the tense of verbs. For example, if the graph starts from the past and go to future, for example, to 2000 and for example 30. After 2023, you should write the future tense, and try to write around 160 or 170 to be on the safe side. If you have copied some words from 3 words after each other from the questions, they won't count. They won't be counted, and so it's better to write more than 150. Another charts are bar charts, and as you see, it's very important in bar charts to, again, it's a good idea to write a paragraph with an overview, introduction paragraph with an overview, and 1 or 2 body paragraph comparing these bars together, and finally a conclusion containing vital fact about the graph. It's better to use comparison languages. Mention the biggest, the smallest, first, second, last rank. Also be careful with the tense of writings, and again try to write around 170 words. Pie charts, again, they are the useful language for these charts are comparison language, second, last, and then check the changes for each part, each section, and according to that, find 2 vital facts about the graph for the overview and the conclusion paragraph of the writing. Tables are the other type of questions you face during writing task 1. Please don't write everything. Just think about the first and third rank, second and last rank, the biggest share. You know, it's very important to use comparison language. And another charts we face in writing are process and cycles. Write introduction first, as I told you, it's better to paraphrase the question. For example, the diagram below shows the process for recycling plastic bottles. It's a good idea to write something like this. The diagram shows or depicts the different steps related to recycling of plastic bottles, and this is a good idea to write it. And for overview, you can write something like this. Generally, this process consisted of, for example, 7 or 8 or 9, whatever there is in the diagram, and that's the good introduction paragraph. Now you can go and start with the first step, second step, and it's better to completely put it in a one body paragraph. And be careful that for the cycle, it's better to use, for example, cycle is a birth to death cycle of an insect. It's better to end the paragraph end the writing with something like this, that this process it starts over again. It means that it's a continuous process, and it's a good idea to use linkers for this type of writing, like firstly, secondly, following which, following that, next step. Again, be careful with the tense of the verbs, and also passive and active sentences. For example, if you talk about the process of vaporization, for example, the water vaporized by is vaporized by sun. So you put the focus on sun, not on water. You should be careful about the process. For the maps, it's good to talk about the changes during the time, and it's good to use directions and also some specific words, for example, parking lot, blocks, buildings, hospitals in the related words and collocations like demolish, construction. You see, you can use many of words, and if we have another session, I will go in depth for each type of questions for you. For the writing task 2, as I told you before, it has 2/3 of overall score of writing. It's better to write the task 2, start with the task 2 first, because writing task 1 is very flexible and you can also finish that one in maybe around 15 minutes. But for task 2, you have to brainstorm and think about the topics and the advantages or disadvantages, and for example, negatives and positives, discussing and viewing and agreeing or disagreeing with these different types of questions. And according to that, we have 4 types of essays: opinion-led questions, argument-led questions, issue, and mixed. For brainstorming, you can search the Google for IELTS writing brainstorm or idea. One of the best is Ideas for IELTS Writing Task 2 by Simon. It's a very great book. Its booklet is around 20 different topics of IELTS writing, popular IELTS writing, and it will give you some idea about different topics that can be useful even for your speaking part. I put the sample of the different types of questions and the paragraphing and the instruction for writing a good essay for you, and you can see this cheat sheet to write your essay as well as you can. IELTS speaking is completely different with the other skills in IELTS exam, as you have an interview with a examiner face to face. So in this part I'm going to talk about different parts: speaking duration, scoring system, and speaking tips. The first part of the speaking is warm-up questions. The examiner will ask you some questions about your daily life that need no thinking time for you. For example, what's your name and what are you doing? It's very easy and you don't need to think about it. And the answer could be short, maybe 10 or 15 seconds for each answer is enough. But it's better to use at least two sentences to describe the situation. For example, my name is Mohsen. I am a PhD student in mechanical engineering department, and my research is focused on, for example, pool boiling. That's a typical answer for this type of warm-up questions. The part 2 is describing. You should be able to describe a topic in 2 minutes. And before starting that non-stop 2 minutes speaking, you will be given 1 minute and a pen and a paper to write down some some idea and the steps of your speaking, like a lecturer who invited for an honorary speech in front of audiences, and it takes around maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And during that time, if you finish your answer lower than 1.5 minutes, it's not a good answer. But if you finish it between 1.5 and 2 minutes, it's okay. And if you talk more than 2 minutes, the examiner will stop you and goes to the next step and next part. The third and the last part of the speaking of the IELTS exam is this discussion questions, and the examiner is going to ask you some questions about the topic related to part 2. For example, in part 2, the examiner give you a cue card about the historical place, and in part 3 he will ask you about the history or the culture or related topics to the part 2, and he expects you to provide more detailed answer, provide reasoning, and according to those reasons provide a conclusion. That's a good answer to part 3 questions, is to completely and comprehensively answer. And that's it. The whole process of the speaking maybe takes around 12 to 15 minutes. And as I mentioned here, part 1 takes around 4 minutes, part 2 3 minutes, and part 3 5 minutes. So it's around 12 minutes, and the upper limit is around 15 minutes. And here is a typical IELTS speaking question you can find in Cambridge books. And we have also band descriptor for speaking. According to this band descriptor, the examiner will evaluate your speaking skill. The good speaking practice resources are 6 Minute English by BBC, Cambridge books, and brainstorming by yourself, and also an application that I will strictly suggest to you. It's IELTS Speaking Assistant application. It's very good application, and it's according to previous topics in IELTS speaking. It provides some prediction about the future questions for the IELTS speaking. So it's a good application, and you can use that. And the best resources for IELTS preparation, I usually suggest these 18 books from the Cambridge University Press, and it's better to start, for example, from book 5 to book 10 for practicing, book 10 to book 14 for being professional in answering questions, and the last 3 or 4 books just 1 month before your final exam as mock exams of your final exam. And each book contains 4 different standard IELTS exam, and it's better to, as I said, it's the best resources for the IELTS exam. And if you have any extra time, or if your level of English is not good enough to start with the IELTS Cambridge book, it's a good idea to use mindset books. Mindset books are also good books from Cambridge University Press. This is the end of our presentation, and I thank you for listening to my presentation. And if you have any questions regarding to IELTS exam, you can contact me with the email I put it on the first slide. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and have a nice day.